So good morning, everyone, and welcome. I am Jacqueline Morosco of Spirited Practice, and I'm going to invite you to start in a comfortable seat and just take a few moments to check in with your breath. And sometimes I like to place the hands on the body, but you can have your hands wherever it suits you. Taking a few smooth, deep breaths. Breathing in through your nose, unless you're being affected by allergies right now. Pulling the breath all the way down through your body and then breathing out in the same way, but thinking about moving from the bottom of the torso out as you're exhaling. Allowing yourself to settle into your seat. And thinking about and noticing how you feel in this moment. And then setting your intention for how you'd like to feel when we're done with our practice today. And then when you have your plan, stating your intention to yourself. And I want to start with some sound today. And so the sounds can be said aloud, they can be whispered, or they can be said silently inside of you. We're going to inhale the arms up towards the sky. Exhale the sound hew to the heart. Hew. Inhale the arms out with the palms open. The sound will be ah to the heart. And inhale, scooping up from the ground, the sound om to the heart. And allowing a moment or two to allow your body to connect with the vibration of the sound. And I use those sounds often, and more so lately because I find them to be very grounding. They help us to get in touch, connected, embodied, connected to our body. And so feel free to use them at any point during the yoga practice or on your own. So today I thought that we would work a little bit on the hips and sacrum and the low back. And but let's start at first with our hands. So I'm going to invite you to interlace your fingers and go as deeply as it feels comfortable, right? So you're going to press your fingers together, and then you're going to reach one wrist towards the ceiling and then the other. And you're just going to go back and forth and notice how that feels. And obviously, if anything that we do today doesn't work for you, you modify and make the poses work for your body. Now, when you're done going back and forth, we're going to start to make some circles. So you're going to go a couple of times in each direction. No right or wrong way to do this, just, in a way that feels okay to you. Then when you are done rolling around a couple of times in each direction, you're going to put one hand up like you're saying stop, and you're going to pull those fingers towards your body. Again, only in a way that feels good. We never want to overextend on so many levels, right? And then you're going to stop that and do the second side. And you're still breathing. So thinking about the possibility of connecting your breath with all of the movements that we do today. Long, smooth breaths. And when you feel complete with that, we're just gonna wiggle the fingers, and then I want you to roll through, like make circles with your thumbs a couple of times in each direction. And we're gonna try that with each finger. And some of them will be easier than others, okay? So just rolling through your fingers. Try not to think too hard about it. Sometimes your tongue wants to get in there and help you do that. Now, when you're done with each of your fingers, we're gonna make some circles with your torso so your butt stays on the ground. You're just moving through the upper body in as big or as small of circles as works for you, okay? And again, we're gonna go a few times in each direction, eventually coming to a place where we stop in the center. And then we're gonna take our feet and we're gonna place them on the ground with your knees bent, about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit more. And you're gonna take your right arm and place it in between your knees. So you have the heel of your hand on the inside of one knee and your elbow on the inside of the other. And you're gonna press out with your hand and press in with your knees. And you're gonna hold that. You're going to keep moving your breath. You're going to hold that position of pressing in with your knees and pushing out with your hand for 2 or 3 breaths. If it feels like it's too much work, you can stop at any time. And after those few breaths, you're going to take that arm out and then do the second side. And as you're doing this, you know, there's a lot going on here. You're pressing into the center, you're pulling out, you're breathing, but I want you to see if you can connect with the lower back and sacrum as you're doing that. Just kind of notice what you're observing, right? And again, holding for a few breaths, and when you feel complete, we're going to release and just shake out your hands a little bit. We're going to make our way onto our hands and knees. So if you like, you can have a blanket under your knees, if that feels more comfortable for you. And then we're gonna have the hands about shoulder distance apart, wrists slightly in front of the shoulders, knees hip distance apart and slightly behind the hips. And I want you to engage those lower abdominals so that your back is flat. And this is actually an active pose, even though, oh great, my doorbell's going off. But you're going to engage those lower abdominals and connect with your breath. And again, see how that feels in your lower back, pelvis, and in those abdominals. And if it is too much on your wrist, you could be on your elbows here, okay? So the inhale now is going to be up here with a flat back. The exhale, you're going to allow your back to round, bring the hips towards the heels, and then moving with your breath, inhaling up, exhaling down. We're going to do it 2 more times. With your breath, inhale up, exhale down. And when you come up this next time, I'm taking my hands a little bit further in front of my shoulders, turning the toes under. Again, you're still connected with those lower abdominals. Inhale is going to be here in tabletop. Exhale, you're going to slide back into a down dog with bent knees, and then start to straighten your legs. And then we're going to just bend and straighten knees with your breath. So inhale as you bend the knees, exhale as you extend and reach your heels towards the ground. And again, this could be done on your elbows. And one last time. Now, once you're in your down dog with somewhat straight knees, the inhale, you're going to come into plank or up dog, and then exhale back into your down dog. Working with the breath, inhale forward, exhale back. And again, you could do tabletop to child's pose. If down dog is not working for you, you could also be on your forearms. Now, after your next exhale, carefully bend your knees, take them down to the ground. So one more time, you find yourself in your tabletop again, connected to your breath. Now I want you to Bring your weight into your right hand and stretch that left arm forward with the palm pointed towards the head, and your vision is towards the ground. Then you're going to bring that hand down, and then second side. And once that hand comes down, now we're going to take the left arm up and then the right leg, so opposite arm and leg. Keep those lower abdominals engaged. Keep breathing. Really reach out with those fingertips and press with your foot. Exhale, you're going to take hand and knee down. And then second side, right arm, left leg, vision towards the ground. Keep breathing. Breathe. Those lower abdominals are engaged. Your vision is towards the ground. On an exhale, we're going to take the hand and knee down and come down into a child's pose. And you might this time take your arms and wrap them around the legs and pause for a few breaths. And while you're here, noticing, again, how does that low back feel? How's your belly feel? How is your breath moving? Now, when you're ready, you'll make your way up onto your knees, and we're going to step forward with the left foot. So now we're in a modified lunge, right? So you have your left foot forward, the left knee is right over the left ankle, and you're going to turn under the right toes. Your hands could be down on the ground, or they can be up on your thigh. And what I want you to do is just engage that front foot and your back knee, and you're pulling in towards the center, right? And then at the same time, you're going to start to soften your hips towards the ground. And again, hands can be up or down, whatever feels good in your body. And then I'm going to invite everybody to take your hands towards the ground, and then we're going to bend that back knee, and you're going to reach the heel towards your buttock. Now, some of you can stay here. Some of you might make your way up on hands onto the thigh, and some of you might want to reach your hands back towards that foot. You're going to find a way that works for you, and you're going to keep breathing. So you're still breathing, and you're only going as far as it works for you, right? So if it's not working, you take the foot down to the ground, you know. Now, eventually, we're going to carefully release the foot, take it down to the ground, take your hands down to the ground. We're going to straighten the front leg and start to walk your hands back. Your hips stay up off of your back heel. So many of you will start to feel a stretch in your hamstring. And then we're going to reach the body towards that leg, right? And for some of us, this is a small movement. Others, it's a little bit larger. Either way, you're still breathing, okay? Now, when you feel like you're ready to move, you're going to, on the inhale, bring your body up, bend that knee, and then you're going to bring your left leg back into place. You're still connected to your breath. And we're going to step the right foot forward. So again, right knee over the ankle, left toes turned under, knee and front foot pulling towards one another, hands on the floor or up onto your thigh. Just noticing how it feels in your body as you're moving, right? Now eventually we're going to take the hands to the ground, and you're going to bend that back knee. Some of you will come up onto your thigh. Some of you will reach back with one or both hands, right? Breathing, comfortable. So thinking about the possibility of comfort and ease, breath can flow easily with whatever decision you make. Again, when you start to feel complete, gently release that foot, take it down to the ground, bring your hands back to the ground. And we're going to start to walk the hands back as you start to straighten the right leg, flex that foot. And again, some of you will bring your body closer to that leg, and some of you won't. Move in a way that feels amazingly good in your body. Long, smooth breaths. Now, once more, when you start to feel complete with this, we're going to bend that knee, walk your hands forward a little bit, And we're going to bring that knee back. Now this is where, if you have something to use like a block, you're going to take that block and place it between your thighs, okay? So now, and I have this wall right behind me, but you can do this without a wall too. You're on your knees, you're squeezing the block with your legs. I have my toes turned under and the pads of my feet pressing into the wall. And then you're going to take your hands either onto your hips or onto your pelvis. And just for a moment, you're going to connect with your breath, and then you're going to start to roll through the shoulders. And it's a little bit harder to roll through your shoulders when your hands are on your pelvis, but you're going to explore that possibility. If it doesn't work, release your hands and just roll your shoulders. Keep breathing. Now, and I'm going to turn to the side now so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Now we're going to keep the left hand on the pelvis and take the right hand up towards the ceiling. Inhale is going to be up towards the sky. Exhale, you're going to come back and reach your head towards the ground, but not come all the way down to the ground. Inhale, you're going to take the other arm, left arm up, and extend the arm. Exhale, hand comes down, turn your head this time away from the arm that you lifted. Inhale, arm comes up, head back to center. Exhale, hand onto the pelvis, head turns away as you come towards the ground. Inhale up, head back to center, arm extends. Exhale down, head turns away from where the arm was lifted. One more time on each side. And if you're ever not sure, you just keep your body moving in a way that feels good, right? So now we're still holding on to the block, and mine started to slide as I did that, so I just put it back into place. I'm squeezing in towards the center. My hands are on my pelvis, and I'm going to start to bring my shoulder blades back a little bit, opening up my chest. Long, smooth breaths. Now I'm going to take my hands and turn them so that my palms are on my pelvis with the fingers pointing down. And I'm going to press my elbows towards one another. So the inhale is going to be open the chest, press the elbows towards one another. Exhale, come back to neutral. So it's a tiny movement. Inhale, open. Exhale, close with your breath. And you might not even be able to perceive the movement that I'm making, right? So you're just taking the shoulders back, elbows towards one another on the inhale, opening up the chest a little bit. Exhale, returning back to normal. Or neutral, I should say, because we're all normal, right? All right, and then you're going to stop that, roll through your shoulders, take out the block, and we're going to stand up for just a moment today. All right. And if you have a tennis ball, and I know most of you probably do, if you don't, you can just roll through your feet a little bit, heel to toe. If you do have a tennis ball, you're gonna roll on the tennis ball. And you're still breathing, long, smooth breaths. Switching feet. And when you feel complete, and I could roll my feet for a long, long time. So if you do have a tennis ball and you want to do it later on or throughout the day, that's awesome. All right, so we're going to put the tennis ball aside into a safe place. And now I want you to stand with your feet about hip width apart. And the inhale is going to be arms come up in line with your ears, come up onto your toes, the heels lift if appropriate for you. Exhale, heels down, arms down. Move with your breath. Inhale is up. Exhale down. And two more times. Ooh. And you're still breathing as you move. Inhale is up. Exhale is down. Great. And now we're going to take the hands onto the thighs. Inhale is when the body is up. Exhale, you're going to slide down, keeping your hands on your legs. Inhale, you're going to slide up the back of the legs. Exhale, slide down the front. It's okay if the knees bend. Remember, this is all about your body feeling good. One more time, exhale down. And inhale, come on up. Now in this next one, I'm going to, I'll model a couple of different ways. So the inhale, we're gonna inhale with the arms up and we're gonna come down to some level of chair, okay? Utkatasana. Inhale is up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. In a way that works for your body. And you're moving with your breath. So you can be going faster or slower than me. Inhale is up, exhale is down, knees bend. You want to make sure that the low back feels good, lower abdominals are engaged. And last one, you're going to exhale down, find a comfortable place, and then bring your hands to your heart center. Press down with your feet, make sure those lower abdominals are engaged, keep breathing. On an inhale, whenever you're ready, you're going to press down with those feet, rise up with the arms, and then exhale, hands back to your heart center. And check in. How's your body temperature? How's your heart rate? You know, how's your body feeling? And then we're going to stand with our feet a little bit wider than the hips, hands on your hips or wherever it's comfortable, and you're going to make some nice big circles. And you'll go in one direction a few times, stop, and then the other direction. And again, we're going to come to a place where we stop, and you're going to explore this next part. So you're going to reach back with your left hip, make a big circle, and then reach back with your right hip. So now you're trying to do a figure 8 with your hips. Allow the knees to bend. Then we're going to stop and go in the other direction. You're like, this isn't yoga. I'm like, yes, it is. As long as you're moving with your breath and you're focused. Again, we're going to come to a place where we stop. Notice how you feel. You're going to find your block one more time. Place that between your thighs. Feet are about hip width apart. You're pressing into the center. We're going to take your hands, place your left hand on your thigh, reach that right arm up. So you're going to inhale as you reach over towards the left with the right arm. Exhale, come up. Take that arm down, reach the other arm up, and you're going to go back and forth. But notice I'm moving really slowly. So coordinate your movements with your breath, and you're only moving to a place that feels really good, right? We never want to overextend. One more time on each side. And when you come back to the center, we're going to take the hands onto the thighs one more time. Inhale will be up. Exhale, you're going to slide down your legs, and you can come up the back or the front, whichever feels good. We're going to do this 3 times with your breath, maybe 4 if you breathe really quickly. And then when you come up, you're going to take the block out. We're going to make our way down onto our bellies. And if you're on a hard floor or you feel like your pelvis is going to poke into the floor, you can have a blanket down underneath you. So you're going to make your way down onto your belly. And then at first, I just want you to cross your arms over. So I have my forearms kind of stacked up or one in front of the other, and just place your forehead down on the ground. And you're going to move your pelvis a little bit. See if you can relax your pelvis. And then we're going to bring our legs as close together as it feels comfortable, right? So your knees, your ankles, your inner thighs might be touching. And then the movement is going to be to lift your legs off the ground. Now, if that does not feel good in your low back, you're going to bend at the knees and take the feet up. So you're going to move with the breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring those legs down. Your head and upper body are relaxed. We're just moving through the lower body. Last time. And then you're going to pause for a moment. Make sure that low back feels okay. And then you're going to take your feet maybe 4 to 6 inches apart. Okay? And again, we're going to do that same thing. Upper body remains relaxed. Inhale, lift the legs up. Exhale, down. Or you're bending the knees, flexing the feet on the inhale, exhale, down. See which way works for your body. So same movement, but your feet are further apart. And one more time, legs up. Inhale, exhale, legs down. Now we're going to take the feet even further apart now. So maybe they're like foot and a half away from one another. And again, the movement is going to be inhale, legs up, exhale, legs down. And we're not going for getting the legs really high off the ground, just that they disconnect from the ground. We're breathing and we're moving the legs. And again, the other option is to bend at the knees. And one more time. And then next time the legs are down on the ground, we're going to bring them to a comfortable distance apart. Undo our hands and take them in line with our chest. And your forehead, your face is still pointing towards the ground. And now the inhale is going to be lifting up your head, upper body, and taking the hands off the ground, elbows press in towards the center. Exhale, come towards the ground. Inhale up, exhale down. And one more time, inhale up, exhale down. And now we're going to connect the upper body with the legs, if that's appropriate for you, right? So inhale, upper body, legs come up. Exhale, upper body, head, and legs go down. Other option would be to bend at the knees. And the other option is to only do one or the other, or not do anything at all. And one more time. Now this time when we come up, we're going to hold the position and keep breathing. So make sure you're in a comfortable place. You're still breathing. So my legs are pressing in towards one another, even though they're not connected. My elbows are pressing in towards one another. And my core is engaged. Then we're going to exhale down and press back into a child's pose. So here, hips come towards the heels. You could have your arms extended out, or you can wrap them around your legs, whatever feels good. And we're going to stay for a couple of breaths. So you want to allow your body to come back to neutral. And again, you're checking in. How's your heart rate? How's your body temperature? What's going on? And then from here, we're going to make our way onto our back body, and you're going to find your block again. So now we're on the back body. You have your block close by, and you're going to, before we move any further, you're going to feel the connection of your feet on the floor. Feet are about hip width apart. You're going to notice which parts of your body are touching the floor and kind of settle in. Arms can be down at your sides. Then we're going to take our block and we're going to place it in between the thighs or the knees, however it feels good. You're going to connect your feet to the floor, and I like to have my feet fairly close to my buttocks because it gives me, can't think of the word right now, it helps me to lift my butt off the ground. Okay, so inhale, you're going to press down with the arms, lift up with the hips, exhale, come down. And you can bend your elbows and press your triceps into the floor to help get a little bit more lift through the chest. And just move with your breath. Inhale is up, exhale down. And you might find squeezing the block that your hips don't come up as high, and that's okay because that's not our main focus today. Okay, next time that your hips come down, you're gonna lift up your feet off of the ground. You're still squeezing onto the block. Your feet are flexed. Your arms are extended out to the sides for balance. And you're gonna take the knees to the right, only about 3 to 4 inches, maybe even 2, right? And then come back to the center. So the inhale is center, exhale, you're gonna alternate sides, but you're not moving very far. And you're just taking the knees side to side in teeny tiny movements. And I know for some of us, those teeny tiny movements are more challenging because we have to hold back, right? Now, next time that you go to your second side, when you come back to the center, now we're going to make the movement a little bit bigger. Maybe this time it's 4 or 5 inches, okay? Inhale, center, exhale, move to the side. With your breath. And again, next time you go to your second side and come back to the center, we're gonna pause for a moment. Then you're gonna straighten your legs, and we're still holding onto the block. Your feet are flexed, your hands are on your thighs. Inhale is going to be hands on the thighs and the body relaxed on the floor. Exhale, you're gonna slide up the legs as far as it's comfortable. The legs remain stationary. Inhale down, exhale, slide up. If it doesn't feel good to lift your head up, just slide with the arms. It will still help engage those same muscles that we're looking to connect with, right? So finding a way, always, that feels good for you. And last time, and once you're on the ground, we're going to take our block out, and your knees are bent, and you're going to hold on to your legs in whatever way feels good. We're gonna make some circles a couple of times in each direction, kind of massaging that pelvis on the floor. And then we're going to come to a place where our femurs are perpendicular to the ground, your feet are flexed, your lower legs are also parallel with the ground, right? Hands on your thighs. You're gonna press hands into thighs, thighs into hands. So just doing that, see if you can feel your abdominal muscles engaging. So it's an isometric movement, right? Thighs into hands, hands into thighs. Make sure that that lower back feels good. Now the movement is going to shift a little bit. We're going to continue to press hands into thighs, thighs into hands. Inhale, thighs away. Exhale, slide thighs move in towards your body. Inhale away. Exhale, thighs towards your body. Boy, that's like a tongue twister for me today. Now you can also add in bringing the head up on the exhale, but always you're making the movement work for you. So if it doesn't feel good to move through the head, don't. And I know this is a lot of work and some of you are probably getting tired. So after your next exhale, you're going to take those knees one more time into your chest, a couple of rolls in each direction. And you're still breathing, noticing how your body feels. Now we're going to stretch the arms and the legs out. So it's like you're standing up and you have your arms extended overhead. And we're going to take that right arm and bring it alongside of our body. The left arm is still overhead. And then you're going to start to walk or slide your feet over to the right. And then walk your left arm and upper body towards the right. So it's a variation of what I like to call banana pose. So think about your body being in the shape of a banana, right? A curve, might call it C pose. And this is a static pose. So we're holding the pose, but you're still breathing, and making sure, this is one of those things, especially because we're holding it for a period of time, you want to make sure that your body is comfortable. So check in with your side bodies and make sure they feel good. And you can probably feel the change happening in your body just from your breath. So take a nice deep breath and let it go. One more breath. Now we're going to walk our way back to the center with the legs and the left arm. Then you'll bring the left arm down to your side, right arm comes up towards your ear. And when you're ready, you're going to walk the legs. Again, I just slide my heels over to the left and start to walk the right arm and upper body towards the left as well. Holding the position, but continuing to move your breath. Long, smooth breaths. And if you pay attention to your breath, it will tell your body if it needs to make a change. So you might cue into that a little bit. So again, as you start to get ready to come out, you're going to walk your legs back to the center and the right arm. And then you're going to bring that arm down to your side as well. Bend your knees. And we're going to take the feet off of the ground carefully. So now you have your knees bent towards the chest, the feet are flexed, and your arms are next to your side. And again, you're feeling your body, your connection to the floor. We're going to move with the breath. The inhale will be arms overhead, legs press up towards the ceiling. Exhale, knees into the chest, arms come down to the sides. Inhale, arms overhead, legs towards the ceiling. Exhale, knees in towards the body, arms come down. Let's do that 2 more times with your breath. And when you feel complete with that, we're going to pause for a moment. And you're going to find your block one more time. Carefully take your feet to the floor one at a time. And you're going to lift up your pelvis and place your block under the pelvis. So you stay off of the lumbar spine. Your block is directly under your pelvis. If this doesn't feel good, you can do what we're going to do without the block. Okay? Now you're taking your shoulders down to the ground. You're going to keep your vision or your face pointed towards the ceiling. Your eyes can be closed. And you're going to open up your chest a little bit. And then we're going to take the right leg up towards the sky and flex that foot. And then you're going to bring that leg towards your body. Now, some of you might like to take your hands onto that leg and help pull it. And some of you might like to just bring that leg towards your body. And then back up to perpendicular. You're just going to move a little bit with that leg, making this movement as big or as little as it feels good in your body. Next time you're pointing towards the sky, we're going to bend that knee, take that foot down, and bring your left leg up. Foot is flexed. And again, bringing that leg towards your body and then back up towards the sky. And if you're wondering about the breath, inhale when the leg is away, exhale as that leg comes towards your body. And again, after this time, we're not going to take that foot down. We're going to bend that knee and then bring in the right knee as well, and then extend both legs up towards the ceiling. And we want to feel pretty comfortable here, right? So letting your hips be heavy on the block, opening up your chest, relaxing the shoulders and the head, arms wherever it feels comfortable. And then if you want to, you can stay here, right? And get those benefits of having our legs up. So this is an inversion. Or you can explore taking your legs out into a wide saddle and bringing them back together, or doing little splits where one leg comes towards your body. So just kind of explore. And if you have shoulder stand in your regular practice and you want to do a full shoulder stand, please do that safely. I like this variation because it doesn't contraindicate anything in your head, neck, and shoulders. And eventually, if you're exploring, with your legs, you might come to a stop. You might want to point and flex your feet or roll through the ankles a little bit. And we're just going to pause here for a moment. And it's a great time to check in with yourself. How is your body feeling? Do you feel like you need something else? And then when you're ready, you're going to bend your knees and take your feet down one at a time. Take the block out. If there's anything else that your body wants to do, now would be the time, right? So just check in. Is there anything else my body wants before I move into Shavasana? And if that's the case, you're going to do that. And if it's not the case, you're going to set yourself up for Shavasana. And in Shavasana, the key to Shavasana, right, is finding a place that your body is absolutely comfortable, you're warm, and you don't have to worry about anything at all except for being comfortable, right? So getting yourself set up. If you're still doing some movement, that's great. And so for the next few moments, allowing your body to be heavy, allowing yourself to be completely supported by the earth underneath you. And if your mind is wandering, you might focus on the movement of your breath, inhale and exhale. Namaha, Namo, Namaha, Namaha, Namo, Namaha, Namaha, Namo, Namaha. So if you would like to do a short breathing and focus practice, I invite you to start to gently reawaken and stretch and come to a seated position. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana a little longer, please do so. Honor whatever it is that your body needs in this moment. And so at times when there's uncertainty, right? That's a challenging time for us humans, actually for all living things, right? And so thinking about what are those things, those healthy things that soothe me. So what I'd like to do is, and you can use your right hand for this or your left, whatever feels better, or you cannot use your hand at all. But what we're going to do is we're going to close the right nostril and breathe in through the left. And then close the left nostril and breathe out through the right. And we're just going to do that back and forth. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. And whenever we're working on a breathing practice, if it makes you feel at all uncomfortable or agitated, don't do it. Just breathe regularly. Or if you have a regular breathing practice that you do that. Breathing in the left, out the right. And there are lots of ways to do alternate nostril. And we're doing this one because it is soothing to our energetic system. Breathing in left, out the right. And you can also imagine the breath is moving in that way. Now, after the next breath or so, we're going to release the hand, release the breathing, allow your breath to go back to your natural breath, your natural rhythm. And then we're going to take the hands and touch the fingertips together, all fingertips touching, and then the heel of the hand so that you have space between your hands. And then rest your hands into your lap in whatever way is comfortable. Some of you might prefer to have your hands resting on your breastbone. And there's a gentle pressure of fingertips and heels of the hands touching. And you're connecting with your breath. And as you settle into your seat, you might think of an aspect of nature. Like for me, it's hearing the sound of the ocean waves or watching the movement of the water. Having an image, or it might be a sound or a smell about some aspect of nature that brings you comfort. And that chant that I did, Namaha, Namo Namaha, it says, it's not me, it's not me, it's not me, or I surrender to something greater than me. And so no matter what your belief system is, nature is definitely greater than all of us. And so focusing on that aspect of nature, and choose one. Don't flit around from item to item, just choose one thing. Another image that has been very helpful during this time is the picture of rooting down. So if you're feeling disconnected, actually like picturing growing roots down into the earth so you become the tree. And for some of us, it's those quiet times that are the most challenging because we have time to think. And so filling that time, that space, with something that soothes you. For me, it's been chanting, but there's also visualization, there's movement, there's actually being out in nature, feeling your feet in the grass, the dirt, or the water. And then taking a moment to thank yourself for showing up, for doing the practice. Noticing how you feel in your mind, body, and spirit. Is it how you were hoping that you would feel at the beginning of the practice? And then we're going to close with those same 3 sounds that we opened with. And again, you can make them in your regular voice in a whisper or silently. So inhaling the arms up towards the sky. The exhale, hew to the heart. Hew. Inhaling arms out to the sides. Exhale the sound ah to the heart. Ah. Inhaling, scooping up the sound om from the earth. Om. So I thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you find some comfort in practice, in sound, in nature. That's it. Namaste.